Okay.
Yes.
Hello, Scott Nell here with the Scott Nell team. I'm here with my friend Marc Schwartz
How
with
do
the
you?
law office of Marc J. Schwartz.
There's a few of us.
He's a fantastic estate planning attorney and has a great focus on special needs. But enough about you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the topic today, which is why does all real estate need to be in a trust? Well, and you put here in caps. Why does it need to be in a trust?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
Did I
You
write
wrote
that?
it. You totally wrote
there
it.
you go. Now we know why it's a great question.
Yes. That's why the grammar was bad too, by the way.
You couldn't let that one go, could you?
Let it go.
I'm not even sure if that's true. But I'm going to answer the question anyway.
Okay.
So when people take title to real estate, especially married couples, they have several choices. Probably the most common is joint tenancy. Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons people own property in joint tenancy is because it will avoid probate upon the first death, which is great. I don't know if you remember from last week or 2 minutes ago, we talked about why probate actually is very bad for real estate.
Right.
So one of the ways that people avoid doing that is they own property in joint tenancy. The problem with joint tenancy is that you only avoid probate for the first death. You're still going to go through it on the second death. So you've kind of defeated your whole plan there by doing property in joint tenancy. The other reason that joint tenancy isn't great is because you don't get that full step up in basis. So you may remember from last time we met.
Go ahead and tell us what step up in basis is again.
Okay, so for lack of a better term, basis is more or less your purchase price. When somebody inherits property, that purchase price gets moved up to the fair market value at time of death. The advantage to that is that whoever is selling that real estate doesn't pay any income tax, which is great. So, but joint tenancy doesn't give you that full step up in basis because the husband or wife is only inheriting half of the property.
Right.
So joint tenancy doesn't give you that full step up. By the way, community property, if you own property as community property as husband and wife,
right.
The government gives you a double step up. So you get to step up the half you received, plus you get your own half stepped up, which is great so that the surviving spouse can actually sell the property and not have to worry about paying any income tax. So joint tenancy is not great for avoiding probate because, like I said, it's going to happen upon the second death. Community property is better, but you're going to have to go through some sort of probate upon the first death. There actually is one other form of holding title. I don't know if you've ever covered this. It's called transfer and death deed. These are new deeds that just came out in 2016. For people who don't want to have a trust, they can actually put a beneficiary on their house and the property will pass to the heir without going through probate. Lots of issues with that. I know I don't have time. Just understand there are issues. Call me if you have questions. The last one is really a trust. And what a trust does is it avoids probate not only in the first death, but the second death, which is huge. It's going to give you that full double step up in basis, which is also really big. And it also gives you control.
Right.
So one of the problems with joint tenancy, which I didn't mention, is especially with blended families. So if you have children or someone has children from a prior marriage, they may not want all of their interest in the property going to their surviving spouse. They may want to save it for their kids.
Right.
Joint tenancy has absolutely no control. It goes to the surviving joint tenant no matter what. Just operation of law. So a trust allows you to be much more creative, and I know you love to be creative.
Yes.
So for those main reasons, if I can review, it avoids probate on the first and second death, full tax advantage, plus it gives you full control. So there's really no reason not to own real estate in a trust in California.
So why don't people? Is it because they just don't know?
Yeah, they don't know. Actually, I think the most common excuse I get is, oh, my kids are going to get it anyway. It's like, well, yeah, that's probably true, but do you realize what happens between you're dying and when they get it? That's what people have to really think about.
Right.
And that's really what I take so much pleasure in doing is not only educating people, but then putting a plan in place that allows them to have something that is what they want, not what the government wants.
So with a trustee, you can be very, very specific as to what you want done with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, so here's another, this is another real easy, I'm sorry, take two. One of the other advantages of doing a trust is you can also protect your surviving spouse. So especially in a blended family situation, you want to make sure that your spouse actually gets to live in the house for the rest of his or her life. I mean, that's huge, especially for people going through transition. Houses are often people's greatest assets, it's where they live. It's, it's their home. So making sure that they are able to stay in their home is key. And then you have to think about other things. Who's going to pay the property taxes? Who's going to pay the utility bills? There's a lot of things that go into transitions that people need to think about before they happen, not while they're happening. One of the things I often tell people is I like to keep them out of court and out of conflict. And that's kind of my goal when assisting clients.
Perfect.
It is my goal when assisting clients.
That is. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
Marc Schwartz.
There's Tristan,
Nell
Marc Schwartz,
the Nell Schwartz team.
Nell Schwartz team. Thank you. Hey everyone, if you'd like more information about myself or my amazing team, check out scottnellteam.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.